Welcome, family. I want to welcome you guys back to another episode with Professional Dad 24/7. As usual, man, you got a bunch of fathers here. We do what we do, and we have dialogue conversations, and for me, therapy, to be able to exhale a little bit, because fatherhood, man, every day is a struggle. From the time we sleep and thinking about what we are to do for ourselves to enable our family to be better, to leaving out the house to be able to come back if we make it back, and then to come back at home, and if food is cooked or we got to cook it ourselves, we have to nourish our body to be able to repeat the same process, all in an effort to be a better man, a better father, a better husband, a better whatever, but to be able to be cognitive on how we develop our upbringings. So that's a hell of a way that I started that off. I like that my damn self. So
hey,
absolutely, man. I got some gentlemen here that rock with me all the time. You know, I got the new head dog, and I got my brother Chris in the building. So
yes, sir.
I don't think we got to get into what Professional Dad is all about. We do that all the time. If you haven't tuned in to some of the things that we got going on, check the last episode or go to the Facebook page. So let's start off like this here. What's going on with you fathers today? Who want to start? I got a lot of shit on my mind. A lot of shit.
Well, you know what? We were talking about eating before we got started here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I think about when I think about eating? I think of like when I eat something, I can't stop eating. Like it's never like enough. And then when it's enough, when it actually gets to the enough, your stomach is like swollen and hard, and you like, why did I eat so much? Right. But like once you kind of get that kind of taste and those taste buds going and flowing, and you got something that's fairly good or even like very good or very tasty or whatever, dude, it's so hard to stop eating. I don't know if it's just because I'm older or whatever the case may be, but that was just something that was on my mind right as you said that, because I'm still kind of like, I guess, thirsting for more, right? But I know what I just had, and it was enough, if you understand what I'm saying.
Hey, it's kind of like fatherhood. Right. Shit. You teaching. They get older, then they want to leave you. It's like, I'm thirsty. I need to give you some more. You about to go into adulthood. And I ain't done with you.
Right.
I need to still done some more. But, I always make it relatable to father.
Yes.
You was hungry, brother. You was hungry.
yeah, man.
What about you, Ian?
Man, we so I for me, go out, man. Watch what's on there, okay? All right, love you. So I'm being a father at this very moment. Go, y'all. Just wait, okay? Wait.
Hey, we always got to make adjustments. That's what it's
Right.
about.
So,
As long
Making
as you don't
look,
hear no toilet
God.
flush, we'll be all right. That seems like that's the next kind of thing that's gonna happen. Like, oh, sorry, he had to use the bathroom. I had to.
So for me, it's always me. I'm always been a father in some capacity. I either got them, I got my 12-year-old, I got all three of them, right? But for me, I'm, as you guys know, and the viewers that I watch, I'm going through a divorce, right? So I'm in the process of selling my building. So like it's on the market, and we're dealing with all the disclosures and everything else, right? So it's just really getting through all of that tough stuff, having to deal with their mother, while I'm being a father, working, doing all type of stuff, right? So really, man, it's challenging because it's like, being a father, like a father that's in their kid's life, right? It's challenging, right? Like it can be challenging to the point where, and if you throw a divorce on top of it, it could be really mentally taxing on the mind, you know what I'm saying? But really, like I'm happy to that, she went to the store or wherever she was going, so she let me keep them, right? So that's pretty cool. So, whenever it's convenient for her, it's like she give them to me, but I'm happy that I have them. So that's always a blessing because they always want to be with me. So that's a good thing. When your kids want to be with you, then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a good thing. So yeah, man, just really striving. Really, I just been striving, grinding. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. For myself, man, and like I say, I always start off with what we got going on because you never know what state of mind we in, right?
right.
I say I'm on a lot of different things, right? And one aspect I'm thinking about, like, why is it so difficult for the good fathers, quote unquote,
Right.
to just get things going the way it's supposed to be going, right? Or, and again, so in one aspect, I'm thinking about that. Like, why is it so difficult if the good father, quote unquote, good father, we can actually break that down. What is a good father, right? But
Right.
I think in terms of when me saying good father, the one who wants to be there, the one who wants to be involved. Why do we have so many things that want to not allow us to do that? Why do we have so many distractions? And sometimes I ask myself these questions not for an answer, but as a means of competition. And what I mean by that, for this particular piece that I was thinking about, like, okay, whatever negative or whatever is trying to stop me from being the best dad that I can be, I'm gonna hit that shit head on to the point where you're gonna eventually say, hey, you're gonna throw your hands up and say, shit, I can't do nothing else to stop him from doing what he's supposed to do, right? So that's on my mind. I'll come back to that shortly. What's also on my mind is Father's Day, right? It's coming up. And I'm not so big on Father's Day, right? I mean, I guess it's a moment of appreciation, but appreciate me every day. And you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. I got those two things that I was thinking about. And we do have fathers out there that don't play their role. We got fathers out there that are just donors, right? So when it comes to Father's Day, at this point, you got some cats that want to dress up. They want the the gratification of being there and, you know, and yeah, I shot some sperm out. But, you know, what is the results of your fatherhood, right?
Right. And
The
that's real.
results should be, you know, I mean, again, if it's Father's Day, let the results show from what you're doing in the kids. What does that look like, right? So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with you, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't like how well, so it's two parts to it, but I'm gonna segue off of you. I don't like how they try to make it just like a 1 day thing, right? Because being a father is 365 days, like a year, right? So from that standpoint, I because like on Father's Day, right? Like I go places like you know, usually, so like let's say prior to COVID and my divorce, right? Like me and my family would like go out to like dinner and different places, right? And I would see dudes with their kids, right? And you could tell like the kids didn't really, like they wasn't used to being with them, and the father even, I don't know, like it was like a disconnect, right? Like you can kind of tell like they're just doing this because it's a day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not because it's like this is what I do every single day, bro. Like Father's Day, not Father's Day, like it doesn't matter. So the second part to it is my soon to be ex-wife, she's not giving me the kids on Father's Day because she wants them to celebrate her father with them. So her and her family is going out to like dinner and all of that stuff, right? So, which is cool, right? But I told her it was cool because I didn't want to argue with her. You know what I'm saying? Because I told her, you know, like me and Spunk had like a conversation where it's like, I'm a father every day. So I don't really need 1 day to solidify me as being a good father or even a father. Like, I mean, like my work speaks for itself, right? Like your children is your artwork, right? You know what I'm saying? They're your masterpiece, right? So it's like 1 day, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's what you want to try to do to hurt me or whatever else, all right, cool. But I already know the work I put in, you know what I'm saying, and how I am as a father, right? Like people who know me already know. They've been knowing, you know what I'm saying? So I got the court papers to prove that I didn't fall for 50% custody and I didn't did all of this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Father's Day is 1 day, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So okay, so you threw a lot out there, okay, and I'm going to address both of them. And I almost cut you off, but I was thinking since I got my good memory hat on today, I was gonna remember both of them. So I'm gonna start with the first one you said on why is it so damn hard for us fathers to try to get things situated in the way that we see fit, so to speak, right?
Right.
In so many words. What, and I know me and you have talked about this before, and probably the audience have heard it before, but I believe that one of the reasons why it's so difficult for fathers who are, I guess, on the good foot, so to speak, is because we don't really acknowledge in this form of this brown skin, we don't really exist. You know, if you really think of like actors and actresses, professional athletes, how many have you ever met? Right? They're like a facade, so to speak. And so when a Black man actually has some thoughts, some dreams, some desires, follow up on any of them, complete any task, then stand and still be there, right? Because fathers in our predicament, that at least the story we have been told is that, and that most of us kind of have lived also, is the parent moves on, the dad moves on for one reason or another. Drugs, prison, mother, he can't handle it, whatever his ego, whatever the scenario is. So when we come into play and then the longevity starts to show, it's like, you're still here. It's like a phenomenon. It's like this pandemic. Okay. Whoa, what shit? Black man, father, what you doing being a father? Like, you for real? You here the whole time, you're not stopping, you're not going nowhere. Wait a minute. Okay, how can I drive you away? I'm not even meaning to drive you away, but I'm driving you away and you still here. So I just think that we aren't really we're not really real, while we are as individuals showing that, hey, I'm here and I'm here to stay and I'm not going nowhere. Right. So that's that. Right. I just think it's just because our presence is so strong. Because when you get a real man, the presence is so heavy and so strong. It's like the sun shining all over the world. How the hell is the sun shining all over the world and it's just rotating, but it just stays shining? Right? So that's kind of like how a father is when he's serious about his kids, whether he's there daily or whether he's just there and he's a part of the kid's life and how things go on. All right, stop there. Now, the other one, the Father's Day, right? Okay, now, Father's Day and to Hen Dog's statement of father 365 days a year. And, of course, right, for those who are. So I guess I don't need it either, but an appreciation of something that because I don't know about you guys, but I usually forget about Father's Day. I usually forget about Mother's Day. I usually forget about all the shit. So when I can randomly lay my ass in the bed and come on and get a little catered to, I'm gonna kind of roll with that. And then from the bigger point of view, now, of course, we know that, this wonderful, but weirded out country that we're from, right, usually puts things in the perspective of how can I make the mighty dollar off of something. But I know that somewhere deep and down in someone's heart, it was just trying to show respect to the father to say, hey, we're going to make a day that I love you. I just love you, right? And I want a day to be special for you, right? Okay, cool. Then in some aspects of fathers where mothers, fathers, children, they forget, or overlook or look past all of the work that a father has done and that does. And so, and it's a kind of a reboot of, man, wait a minute. I want to thank you. And you're thinking to yourself, like we saying, hey, man, I've been here 365 days. Why just now? But sometimes we all kind of need a kick in the butt, right? We all do sometimes. Come on, hey, you ain't seen your mama in how long? Hey, when last time you seen your grandma? Hey, when last time you called your brother and said, how you doing? Bring my nephew over here. When last time you seen your nephew, your cousin? You know what I mean? Right. So sometimes, if you can find some goodness out of it, it's lovely, but all these extra holidays, just trying to throw holidays out there. Yeah, you can go and swear with that.
You want to know the only time that people, and I know y'all can contest to this, is when you think about, man, I really need to start seeing people. Is when somebody died. You be like, I really need to start seeing the people who I love, right? Like when somebody in your family died, or like a friend or a family friend or whatever, it makes you think about, like, I need to start doing this or I need to start doing that, right? So, because like you say, Father's Day, right? Like I don't even think about it really, because I'm such trying to. I'm so trying to be a father, right? Like I'm so into doing what I'm doing, and really, because like if you have younger kids, right, they don't know when Father's Day is, right? So it's like really, if the wife or your baby mama or woman or whatever don't really say anything like about it, it's just another Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't go to church, then you really won't know unless you look at a calendar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a trip. That's a trip because I mean, I think we all on the same playing field that it's not a big day. It is to some, but not to most, right? I understand what you're saying, Chris, as far as it's like, it's a wake-up call for those that, haven't appreciated the father that you've seen in that man. Man, let me just say it today. I might not say it no other 364 days, but I'll say it on this day. That is all I say.
Right.
But then, for me, I just be like, shit. You waited till now? Right? I don't know, man. I kind of put, and I treat, I'm no different about Father's Day than I am for Mother's Day. My mama, Mother's Day, every day. My lady, Mother's Day, hell with a Mother's Day, every day. Right? That I ain't saying I'm doing something every day, but you are definitely joyful with me in your life every day, right? So, I mean, again, treat people as you want to be treated, right? So, again, to me, I'm not one way or the other, but I am that you should treat people good and whatever every day. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah. Tell me thank you on whatever day. You know what I'm saying?
Runs with those though. I think who runs with those are and I'm just gonna say it because it is those fathers that are less
impactful,
active. I'll say that I don't see imposters because you might see them, every check, or you might see him when he wants something from the mama, but. That fatherhood activity, again, like when you say, when they're together, it seems like there's a disconnect. They're like, oh, shit. Some of them might be too happy. You're like, nah. He ain't did this in a while, right? So for you just listening, those of y'all who jump for joy when Father's Day come on, I'm going to tell you, that's a telltale sign. You ain't been doing your part for a long time, brother. You know what I mean? Do it today where they used to it. To where they like, I love my daddy every day. Monday to Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So imagine this, fellas. Imagine, and I have a hidden agenda for what I'm doing. I thought about this too. I said, people do be having a hidden agenda. Let me put my hidden agenda out there for people to understand where I'm coming from. Here's my hidden agenda. Everything we talk about, for those that do not do some of the things that you're supposed to, I'm hoping that it clicks in your head to where you turn the light bulb on to start being active. That's one hidden agenda that I have. Again, this is therapy for me. Another hidden agenda I have is that I want to build this big enough to where there's some changes legislatively that are made for fathers to be easily involved, easily imparted into some of the policies that come up. You got child support, you got divorce, you got all these type of things that we as fathers have to deal with without the proper support. Right? And not having these support systems, not knowing where these support systems are, hey, it can go bad. It can really go bad. Again, when you mention Hindar, when you mention about that piece where Father's Day, they want to go over here, they want to do something else. I experienced that, and it made me mad. Like, what? I'm the daddy. Why would you want to take the kid away from the daddy and it's daddy's day? Right. I had to learn that, okay, all right, I do daddy stuff every day, so it's not a problem. But I questioned at that time that I was going through that, like, why are you making these things so difficult? So that was my premise in the beginning. Like, we have not only our relationships that can make things difficult for us being fathers, with the distractions, the inconveniences, and the problems that come with that, but we also have policies that are in place that, don't allow us to visit our kids, see our kids, or be the fathers we want to be. I ain't gonna say it like that. That interrupt our relationship with our kids when other people outside of the nucleus is getting involved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense. So everybody take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Okay. So where are we at? Where we go from here, fellas? What do we tell what do we tell the younger cats that just had a baby, right? And they happy as hell that nothing is gonna happen with their relationship with this woman, as the kid is not here yet, but it's in the womb. What do we tell those newly fathers? Those are baby daddies. They are baby daddies.
They're trying to be with the woman?
Yeah. I mean, no, they knew. So in the beginning, everybody was trying to be there. Right.
So I mean, so I will say this quick. I feel like every man or just a future baby daddy, right? Or soon to be, right? Promise yourself that you're going to be a father no matter what, right? Because we can, throughout time, we can start to make things more important than our kids when it comes to the woman or something else, right? So promise yourself before the child even gets here that I'm going to be a father no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That I'm going to be impactful, that I'm going to be active, that I'm going to impart something in you, right? Because mind you, our kids is us. We made them, right? The women did too. But I'm saying we have to tell ourselves that this is a lifelong journey, right? As life goes on, then, it ebbs and flows of, your influence. Your influence mainly is when they're younger, because when they get older, then they're going to kind of have their own mind, right? But I feel like that's like so important, is to we need to promise that no matter what you got to do or go through, to always be there, you know what I'm saying, for your kids.
Absolutely. Chris?
I had this like frozen look on my face, and I felt it, and I kind of looked up, and I was really trying to think of what the hell I'm gonna say. And I guess what I've come up with is, I got a good friend. He came on here once time, and I'm not gonna say his name because the story may be a little kind of tough. But me and him are really close. We've known each other for quite some time. And, he went through a lot of stuff with his children's mother. And I've gone through stuff with my first child's mother, and even with my wife, right? And all I really, truly would tell a man is just take responsibility. Just take responsibility. Because it kind of touches on the point of the unknown, right? Us being, who are you? You're this black man, you're a father. But part of it is us taking the responsibility for whatever it may be. I'm always making coaches and sports references, the best quarterback or the better quarterbacks are the ones who can stand there, at the press conference and say, it's my bad. I blew that. The owner that says, my bad. The general manager said, I made a bad pick. Me, not looking to make excuses, because that's kind of the easy route. And I'm not trying to sit here today and tell you that, oh, I just took it all in. No, hey, I got it all under control. I'm not saying that. But from my, I don't know, 20 some odd years of having a child and being amongst a woman and raising a child with them, right? Taking on the responsibility. Now, the responsibility doesn't mean that it's going to work. Not saying that. But somewhere in there, us as men, we have to look our own self in the mirror, because if not, I think some people don't look themselves in the mirror. That's what I think, right? Because of some of the unnecessary turmoil that they may put on themselves, on the child, on the woman, and then their ego is all in the way. So I think just taking the responsibility for the situation that I got this woman pregnant, because I don't know about you guys. I've never had it where the woman wouldn't get up or I couldn't get her up off of me. Right? My three
oh, she wasn't heavy enough, huh? Is that what you
said? Right? That first one was, my spectrum is high. I don't play them games, right? Let's go, right? But the fact of the matter is, it's taking on that.
Now, I say,
right?
Hey, keep it real, bro.
Taking on that responsibility, because like like
podcast.
As when my oldest son got 10, 11, 9, somewhere up in there, I would from time to time take him to his mother when it was her week, right? And Spunk, I would go right up to both of them while I'm dropping him off, telling her, hey, this is what he got to do for tomorrow, da, 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 da. And then bam, out of nowhere, apologize to both of them for being the young, hot, burning, hot human, and, not wanting to lay my head next to them on a daily. That's for me, right? That's for me, Spunk. Just like you say, this is therapy for you. Yeah. That is my own. That was always my own personal therapy. Even good friends, Spunk, that I may have dogged back in the day. Hey, man, I'm sorry for us sitting in the car all night capping on you specifically. That's wrong, straight up. Man, half of people ain't even got friends because of things like that. You know what I mean? And if you don't really, right, you don't right your wrong, man. So I think if you could start from the beginning and just take responsibility.
I agree. I agree with something. I was going to say, you ain't apologized for bagging on me in the high school.
Hey, no, don't you even start. Because as soon as I said it, I totally thought about that. I was like, you know what? We probably both each other, because boy, you wouldn't stop. Hey, Chris, you gonna believe what I'm saying, Chris. I'm like, why you keep telling me this? But I know why now, right? And I probably knew 12, 15 years ago, because it was like, no, you really got to know this, right? I might have been, I didn't know how to say it. I might have been joking with it and had a smile on my face, but I was serious. And you know how we guys, that's female. Hey, you need to know, just like she would tell her friends.
Right. No, that's right. That's right. No, I understand that. I do understand that. That responsibility is very important. You're getting some real gems tonight, fellas. For the guys who are newbies when it comes to being that new father, you so happy. One of the things I would just say is don't duck, don't run from the conversations that might be controversial, right? And what I mean by that is, because if it could be happy right now, but let's talk about the what ifs. How can we make the proper adjustments for the kid, right? Hey, I would love for all relationships to work out, right? Sometimes they don't. But on that high horse, when you're happy, let begin the conversation about how are we really going to take care of this kid? And I mean in depth, not, oh, I can serve them baby food for the next 2 months with this formula, right? I'm talking about how are we really going to take care of this kid, right? What kind of schooling are we going to have for this kid? What kind of health plan, health care, life insurance we will have to leave for this kid, right? Because God forbid anything happens to one of the parents, right? You want to be prepared, right? And being prepared means being prepared in all elements of parenting. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be going to the schools? Who's going to be on the board to make sure that the teachers are doing right? How many, you know what I'm saying? Because that right there, I wasn't thinking about. There was nobody to tell me, hey, look, problems come up, make adjustments, but let's talk it out. Feel me? Talk it out. Be willing to be humble enough. If you don't know something, you don't know, right? Learn. Google can be your friend, but ask questions to your elders. Your elders don't have to be 70 years old. What they did is, as far as parenting, what the generation after them do. So talk to generational parenting so you can kind of get an idea of what you want to implement into how you want to raise your child, right? And then just honestly look at your environment. If you are, there's no way that anyone can tell me different that what you see around you, you can make an assumption what you don't want your kids to be about, involved with, or things of that nature. So use those things as motivation or as things to talk about for you and her to be able to nurture that kid to the best ability that y'all can, right? Because you want to raise it healthy. You don't want to raise, you're putting in stuff that when it ain't coming out right. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I would say. I know a few new parents, that's new guys that are about to be parents, and some that have become parents. And now I'm gonna change the conversation, not the conversation, but I'm gonna kind of shift it a little bit because even I think the relationship changes, right? When again, things happen, like after the baby is here and she might was doing this, you might was doing this, some of that stuff stops. If y'all ain't dating no more, you get a little upset, right? I mean, these are things to think about because it makes things better for you later, right? And it gets the things on the table to really get to the root where, hey, at least if we don't have this issue, we talked about how we would make things like this happen for the sake of the kid. And I'm not always talking about a breakup or things like that, right? Again, presence for me is everything. If you are not there, you're leaving your child to the wolves. And them wolves, they vicious out there.
Right.
Hen, were you about to go? I don't want to cut you off, sir.
No, it's all good.
As you speak on like communication and like that's probably number one, Spunk. But that's also part of that taking on responsibility too, right? Because you have a responsibility to actually hear someone, listen, and then you have a responsibility to actually communicate your thoughts and your feelings, right? And then come to some type of like mutual agreement or even a disagreement, right? And I think, like you said, being comfortable, knowing that something's going to be uncomfortable, And like those, and I'm gonna go a step deeper, those who don't have babies, right? And maybe are newer to the dating game, but definitely have thoughts of having children, right? Because I have 3 children. That was my plan. It was just supposed to be a girl in there. You know what I'm saying? But I got 3 boys. My plan was to have 3 kids, and now it was like 12 when I said that, right? So, when it comes to like, I'll tell you, if I'm really talking to like a 16, 17-year-old girl or boy, I'm saying ask questions, like have a list, almost damn ready to go. What do you want to be when you grow up? What are some of your goals? Right? I ain't gonna necessarily knock you for what maybe your family is going through or have been through because I'm dealing with you, but we all know that plays an effect too, right? Some of this stuff is real and it gets ignored, right? Because what's usually happened, the guy is usually trying to search for the cootie cat, right? Period, point blank. That's what he was told. That's what he knows. That's what he searched for, right? And the girl is searching for the opposite, but then it's taught to, hey, kind of protect yourself, don't be as easy, so to speak, right? And the guy is taught, hey, if she's too easy, then leave her alone. So we're both in that same spectrum, and it's going to happen. It's just really a matter of time. So, but what usually gets ignored is the real life questions. Oh, you want to be a parent? Oh, well, what do you think about parenting? What happens when? But then, like you said many times, Spunk. I mean, who's really giving the guidelines, right, for you to even know what the hell to ask about a relationship, right? Babies, children, and they leave it in the pastor's hands and all types of things like that, but speaking to elders and things like that. So, man, that communication, that is something heavy. And believe me, if they're not answering the questions that you're asking, it is not accidental, straight up. That is to avoid that subject and that topic, and but all you can do as an individual is make sure that you speak your piece and speak it and speak what you feeling and what your thoughts are, because you better speak yours, because you don't know who the hell you may meet. If they gonna you mess around and do their whole agenda.
Question. So you and I speak, from we do bring up girls and boys, young women, young men, right? I have a bonus daughter, who's older, right? And you just said something where, like, I just had a question. It just in my mind, like, the boys are searching for the cootie cat, is what you said, right? What are the girls searching for? Are the girls, and we don't have a woman on here, right? And I'm throwing this question towards the new hen dog, because he got daughters, right? And it's like, and I don't want the folks that watch this, listen to this, to not be aware that, again, we have to be thinking about, or we are thinking about, our young daughters and what they look for. Are they looking for a father figure? Are they looking for, security? Are they looking for, so Hen, what comes to mind when you think about that type of stuff? I know we at a very young age. Lorraine is what, 12?
12, yeah. She's gonna be 13 in some months. So I mean, that I don't know, because like Rain is still, in the childish mind state. So which is a great thing, right? So I'm not there yet, but what I try to impart to her, and I have those difficult conversations with her, is to always tell her boys are going to be there, right? There is things in our lives where there's only a small window of opportunity that we're going to get to do or get things done. So, I always tell her that try to go to college, become your own business owner, do things where, because I told her, boys is always going to be here, right? Men and women, people going to be on the planet until God come or whoever come, right? So I try to make her think about what she wants to do or what she wants out of life, right? So, but I have the conversation with her about boys, right? Like about boys may try to come and try to tell her this and do all of that. But I also try to be an example for her to where when she does get to that point of looking for like a boy or like a man, right? She will look for someone that's strong and independent. You know what I'm saying? And that has certain things that will protect her, and all of that. So I try to be that person to where she's so used to that until that is what she's going to cleave to. So you see what I'm saying? So, but I because when you have a father that's active and that's in their kid's life, right? Not saying it won't happen or it can't happen, but I'm a believer of keeping your child busy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you keep them busy, they're not gonna have time to look for no cootie cat. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna be thinking about that.
Hey, look, hold on. Let me say.
Hey,
When you were playing basketball at 13, you was like, look at Shaniqua.
Right.
Look,
in the layup line.
But I didn't have a father though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I was 13, my mom, she was in prison, and I was in the foster home. You know what I'm saying? So my life was like totally different. I was on my own because the foster home, they didn't care. So I didn't have a mother or a father, but I never had like a father. So that's what. So yeah, I was looking at butts and cootie cats and all that. I was looking at everything, right? But that'll show you I'm an example.
Right. And and I think that plays a major role in when a boy or a girl is worried about or thinking about that cootie cat or that or the lower extremities of a human man, right? I think it's lack thereof that mother and father, which is love. Right. And when you're missing that love, that something is missing in you, you usually go out and find it out in the world.
Somewhere else, right.
You know what I mean? And that, I believe that's how it kind of, in my opinion, and I don't know those numbers, but boy, I'm willing to bet that one.
And that's real. That's real though. Yeah.
I always took to think that, again, the way that society is right now and the things that it infringes on, right? You got I'm trying to say it the proper way, but you got, I don't know the proper way to say it. I would just say how to say it. You got, same sex. That's a good way to say it. Same sex being presented out there like that. You got deodorant, get you all the women. So sex sales, right? All this stuff combined
What
with.
What did you say?
You know how you wear this kind of deodorant, you catch these women. I see some commercial like this. It's a stupid commercial, right?
Yes, the Ox one where the chick pulled him on the bus and all that.
Yeah. So even though you have all those, is as much as you can, and again, as much presence you can have on your child, right? When they're in the world, right? Going to school with the kids who don't have a father, right? Who are in those situations, who are kind of assimilating, to the society. They already assimilate. Some of them at 7 years old know what's up, right? Again, because they don't have it. Now, we can't be with our kids every day, right? I know we would hope that what we imparting will overtake what they see out there, but I mean, how do you fight that? How do you balance that? You can't. You just gotta pray, hope, wish, whatever you do, that your input is, much greater than. Damn, if that's the way to say it, is greater than something other. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm again, because we're speaking to the cats that are newbies. Right, I'm past this stage with all of my kids, right? All of them adults, college. So that's a whole nother bracket, right? Like you said, when they older, they got their own mind, they know better, right? And all I can do is hope and wish and pray that everything we talked about, right? Yeah. So, but with the young ones, so much is being intrusive on where they are. It's like, damn, you have to be, that's why I say presence is so important. You have to be so involved to where, from the school aspect to the athletics, to whatever you put them into, so that you can recognize if this coach is a little too much. Right. If that teacher is something wrong, right? Right. So your presence in every aspect of their lives has to be there, because the wolves, if they know you are there, they're gonna sniffle somewhere else.
Hey, and that's a great point, because my older son, he went to Lincoln, and this, I don't know how to tell short stories, but I'm trying to make it short. Two instances. One on the football team, right? He was playing football. I guess he was going back for a punt. Bam! Hit his head on the back of the on the goalpost, right? So they downplayed it, whatever. And I'm like, so what happened? I'm like, oh, was the coaches there? Yeah, they just told him to get up. He said, get up, right? And then he finally come over. So I come over, and then I go up there, and I'm like, hey, look. So and then I think something else happened. I say, look, I just became a football coach, y'all, right? I just became a football coach, and I tell them this. This is a whole group of football coaches, right? Mainly white guys. I said, hey, so I know kind of how it go down. And I didn't know before, right? I didn't know the language, right? Because you forget about it, right? Football, when you play and you forget, oh yeah. And then when you're a coach, you say even more than what you say on the field. You double and triple that, right? So I'm like, hey man, just be cool what you say, because I conversate with my son on a regular basis, right? Oh, that made them feel some type of way, right? And then in another instance, one day we're in the basketball gym, and it's a basketball game going on. I think he's like a junior. And I see a boy walk up to my boy, and he kind of, I don't know if he like popped him in the back of the head or kind of like elbowed him or nailed him or something. And so I seen it because I was at the game here. And so I gave this look. Right? I just went streets like, and so he walking over and he like putting his head down looking. Every time you look up, yeah, I'm looking. Right? No, you didn't try to just play my boy. So I go up to my son. I'm like, dude, did he just try to play you? He's like, I'm not sure. I said, man, look here, hey, I know you smaller, hey, but don't you be letting nobody just play you, man. Come to find out, this brother invites Chris to come to Grambling after he graduates out of City College. They damn near, schoolmates at Grambling, right? So, but I believe, if you ask me, that's me playing my part to where I'm so involved to where, because that could have been something, man. But when the nigga know he got daddy presents, all right, look, hey, man, I'm still only 16, so I don't want to fight your daddy, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? All right, leave him alone. It's cool. I didn't mean nothing about it. I was just playing with it. Okay, cool. Well, just play with it then. As long as you know you're playing, it's cool. So just to your point, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got an input on it?
Nah, he took it to the streets.
Hey, he only had 2.5 fights though. To the streets. I got but the pit is in me. You know,
Right.
I just, I ain't had to bite too many times, but
Right.
don't play me. I'm gonna try to play you first. And hopefully
Mm-hmm.
you bow down and then we
Right.
good. Feel me?
Right.
Like, it's cool. I didn't come
Yeah.
on, my nigga. I didn't really want to fight you though.
Right. and that's a great point too, because there was an incident where, let me see, when my son was in grade school, right? And it was like one of the reports was like, oh, his behavior is good.
Uh,
Mm, I'm like, why is that even in the report? Right? Like, nah, we don't want to hear about his behavior being good. I want to know about, is his test scores right? Is he comprehending right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to that point where you have to be that challenger of the adult who you're leaving your child with.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
You're that
yeah.
liaison.
You that liaison. And if you don't see something right, you have to nip it in the bud, because at the end of the day, it could suppress growth,
Right.
confidence, things of that nature. So
Right.
so it's very important that newbies be ready. I mean, I can't say be ready, just be ready to make adjustments, be
Right.
present,
Yeah.
be responsible, right? And like Head say, take it to the streets if you got to.
But like Chris said though earlier, if you do something with love, it's gonna be an automatic thing.
Yeah.
Because when something's done with love, you don't have to force it. You don't have to try. It's an automatic, So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, man, I mean, do y'all have any else y'all want to chat with today? We touched a lot, and I'm hoping somebody got something from this. I did, you know what I'm
I
saying?
Yeah.
did too, man. It's always it's always a blessing, man, to be able to sit down with some brothers, man, and conversate and hopefully be impactful in other people's lives, right? Because when I was growing up, like I said, it was the dope boys and the pimps and you know what I'm saying? Like it was in my life, there was nobody really impactful that was my race, right? Like, so I learned everything that I learned from just experience, right? From getting hit over the head, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Chris?
Yeah, hey, look, I'm proud of both of you men, okay, for being in the position for us to have this conversation. You know, um, it's not Father's Day, but hey, happy Father's Day, Black men.
Thank
Thank you.
Because
Same to you. Same to you.
if there's no, I guess, stage or platform like this, well, who gonna create it, right? At least right here in this little Bay Area, because it's needed, it's wanted, you know, and for you to even almost have, hey man, did you hear about this show, man? And some dads talking about, hey, it may take who knows how long, but in the words of Spunk, this truly is therapy because you can get stuff off your chest,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can get something off your chest and then hear what somebody else got to say, or, oh, okay, and then, like, I have children of different age groups, right? And you got children of different age groups, Spunk got kids of different age group. So then you're able to kind of take from and then hear it. I don't necessarily want to argue with him, but I don't know if I agree with that, but I hear what he's saying, or you know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's a plus, and that's healthy within this sector of conversation, because it's a spot where you can have a non-major debatable discussion. How about that?
Right.
You don't have to believe all the shit I'm talking about. And I don't have to believe what you're talking about. It's like, okay, that's what's up. Well, this ain't for me to be like, hey, I ain't even really feeling that. Like, you feel me? I ain't never even been through that, so I don't know. Damn, why you saying it like that? You know what I mean? No.
Right.
Okay, that's a great point. I'm gonna find something to connect what you're saying. You know what? Like Ian said, you know what? Like Spunk said, right? That's healthy.
Mhm.
That's healthy. right?
Yeah.
So that gives each one of us some fruit, so to speak, to leave with from a conversation that you can say, yeah, I had a discussion with some men, and not necessarily, or it was great discussion, and that's just what it was. And who doesn't need that, especially in our life?
Right.
So I'm appreciative, brothers.
Absolutely, man. Happy Father's Day as well.
Sir.
Happy Father's Day.
And when is Father's Day? Is it this Sunday?
Hey, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
I think it's the 20th.
He said he was gonna have a party at the Lake Merced. So out there in the city. So and throwing up daddy balloons and shit. So what?
I don't have my kids, so I'm gonna be in Orlando, all right,
yes,
in
sir.
Miami, baby.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Look at here. Look, that's tempting, man. I might go to go. Hey, man, again, I always appreciate you brothers getting on here, man. It's a lot of gems I done wrote down that y'all done put out there, man. And again, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, not from the bottom, but from the top, all over around the heart. You know what I'm saying? Somebody
Thank you for having us. Thank you. I appreciate you.
So we're going to come to a close. What we'll do, this is every Wednesday, 7:30, we will do this type of show, and we invite any one of you who would like to get on the show, have a good conversation, bring some more gems to the table, release a little bit of that, tension, get a little therapy, right? Just reach out to Professional Dads Travel at gmail.com. That's Professional Dads with an S Travel at gmail.com. And we'll get you on here. We're going to end this show tonight. And like I said, it's never about changing the narrative of Black fathers. We out here, we exist. Some of y'all don't talk loud enough. Some of y'all don't listen. But I'm glad y'all had the moment to hear from these brothers tonight and these gems that they put out there. Salute, fathers.
I'll see y'all, brothers.
All right, man.